I got a message for trucking companies. Some questions that I think you should ask yourself in a way that you should step back and take a big picture look at your company. This is for company owners, for managers, dispatchers, driver managers, supervisors, whoever has a genuine concern for the well-being of the company. Might want to listen to the message that I received, not the first time, but the time it was right. And my message to you, which was sparked at this particular time by the submission I got from this guy, from Bill. What's his name? Bill from Manchester, Connecticut. Bill says, trucking companies suffer from poor management. I would give all of the companies I have worked for, all big names here, minus grade, which I asked him to rate trucking companies from 1 to 10, and he says minus 7. All of the managers stunk, except for one woman, Lisa, at priority. Go ahead, Lisa. None of the managers could drive a truck. None of the managers had ever been out on pickup or delivery of a load. None of the managers listened about where I tried to tell them there was available business or new loads. They just sat on their butts in front of their computers like idiots. In 07 and 08, the country's economy collapsed, and several small companies went out of business or closed offices. I worked for one owner-operator, Gary, with a few trucks. He said my truck was the only one making money for him, but when it broke down, he could not afford to get it fixed. That's a message to you owner-operators and small company owners. So it's not the company who is good or bad. It's mostly the lousy managers who jerk drivers around and treat them like crap. It is the lousy driver managers and lousy big shots in the company who can't seem to get drivers home to recharge their hours, spend time with their families. It is the lousy driver managers who could not coordinate loads, so drivers who depend on keeping the wheels rolling for income do not have to sit and wait for hours. This should be a wake-up call to all trucking companies. Too many of you are singularly focused on the bottom line. So focused on the bottom line that you don't even look at the big picture. Pretty well done, Bill. Pretty well done. And pretty much to the point. So the question that you need to ask yourself is, how do you treat your drivers? How well do they like their jobs? How well do they like the company? If you were a driver for a dispatcher or a driver manager like you, or if you were a driver working at a company that is ran how your company is ran, would you like being a truck driver under those conditions? You see? And if you're not, don't assume, if you're a company owner, don't assume how your company is ran. I hope you spend time down there and talking to drivers so you can get some insight. Because obviously you want to see a different picture than what the drivers see. So you need to know for sure what they're saying about the company and how they feel about the company. And then honestly ask yourself, if you were a driver at your company, how would you feel about being a trucker? Because that's going to tell you some important things. If your drivers are not happy, how much do you think they care about being on time? How much focus are they going to place on maintaining the equipment, doing their laws correctly? Only to the extent that it affects them negatively or positive. It's hard to blame them not to be a little slack if they are working somewhere in which they feel that they are seen as nothing but a number. You see. Now, when you do things for so long and you're trying to build a business, you're trying to establish accounts, and of course you got to pay attention to profit. Of course you want to grow things, but you can't simply look at a tree and ignore the forest. The tree is only going to last so long, you see. And once the tree is dead, and if you have ignored everything, the rest of the forest, what do you have left? Now, if you take care of that forest, you're going to see the tree. The tree is going to be included. It's a total approach. If you take care of the forest, then you're talking about sustainability. You see, anything can happen to affect your profit margin negatively. And if you've only been so focused on just that profit margin, you have nothing else. Because everything else, you butt heads with everything else. But if the entire company, the organization, every aspect of it, your employees in the office, your drivers, the customers, if everything has been of major importance to you, then no matter what one thing happens to affect you negatively as far as profit or whatever else happen, new legislation, new rules or whatever, if you got the whole system on your side, then you can quickly adjust. You can quickly raise your level of standards, raise your quality, raise your productivity, because everyone is all in. Everyone feels like part of a team, you know. So that's something that you need to really place a lot of focus on, because I get letters like this all the time. All the time. Where drivers are discontent. We're not dumb, and so common sense tells us that you have the ability, say somebody stay on I-20, I-40, you know, in other major cities, in major cities where other highways go through, people know that you got freight that can go through there, especially when you leave certain locations. People know that you can send them through the house. So when you continue to route them all around the house, the outside perimeter, and never cross them through, how do you think that makes them feel? So I just wanted to hit you in the head with that, and hopefully some more drivers will comment here and give you their personal feedback on some ways that you could improve your company and increase employee morale, increase the level of loyalty, and make them feel like they're a part of an organization who recognizes what they bring to the table. Because right now, apparently, a lot of y'all are doing a bad job at that. You just got to do what you need to be doing, and that's looking at everyone that's being a part of the organization like they matter. And if you do that, success is automatic. Ask some of the better companies that's done it. New Century. Dog, I wish I could think of some other ones right now. But I know New Century. Every driver I talk to loves the company. So there's good companies out there, drivers. Make sure you keep everything straight so you can go to them. And for you companies, raise your standards, baby. How much do they enjoy their jobs? How well do you treat them? How do they feel about the company? If they were offered a better opportunity, would they leave for it?